rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Killer call, we rally and war. For America first, we'll settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar. For America first, we'll rise and stand. Voices of the brave echo to the land. Chasing dreams on the edges of fate. With steel in our veins, we will not wait. Killer call, we rally and war. For America first, we'll settle our score. Populism's fire ignites the night. And your face will shine a light. From the ashes of the past we stride. With iron resolve we will not divide. The fire burns bright, unyielding and strong. Together we'll sing a defiant song. Killer call, we rally and roar. For America first, we'll rise and stand. Voices of...
All right, welcome to the Killer Carl podcast. Here you are. I know it's a Monday night. I typically do not broadcast on a Monday night, but you know what? I'm calling bullshit, right? So that's what I do here. The reality of things is I love President Trump. Don't get me wrong, but he's been drug into a big freaking mess. Much like COVID. Yes, COVID. I'm bringing it back up, and you don't have to like it, but it's true. Right, so we're just going to play this clip today of the White House. I mean, I'll admit, it kind of makes me a little ill, but this is desperation, folks. Let me be honest before we play it. The media is trying to, look, it's just some grandma that came stumbling up to the White House and was delivering some McDonald's for Donald Trump. Bullshit, folks. Bullshit. You don't just roll up to the White House with Grubhub and deliver it to the President of the United States. First of all, this woman is a representative of Grubhub. I mean, she's got a grandma DoorDash shirt on. It's not like you get personalized DoorDash shirts, right? So this was all set up ahead of time. Why? Well, because President Trump knows, the administration knows, the White House knows that this Iran war is killing him. I don't care what CNN says with their dumb polls. You know, it's funny. You know, they're touting these CNN polls, but when they're against Trump, they're like, oh, you can't trust these polls. But now all of a sudden, since all MAGA's behind President Trump in this war, you can trust the polls now. Give me a fucking break, people. I mean, do you think the American people don't have a brain in their head? You see, that's what pisses me off so much, but we're going to go ahead and watch this. Let's watch it. Get your vomit bag ready.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. I have your DoorDash order for
Oh, yeah,
you.
the Secret Service has no problem with this old bat rolling up with 2 bags that they haven't checked.
They're all your
Give me a
favorites.
break.
These are good.
Oh, my
DoorDash
God.
is doing a good job.
It's like a clown
So-
show.
The reason for this.
Oh, tell us about the no tax on tip.
Picked up an extra $11,000 that you didn't get because the tax bill was so big. The refund was the biggest you've ever had. Is that a correct statement?
It definitely was. Yeah, I saved over $11,000.
All right, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this. I can't take it because I actually respect your intelligence. That's why I'm not going with it. I respect your intelligence. First of all, anybody that's door dashing, you're not making enough money. Let's be honest. You're really not making enough money. You're going to get earned income tax credits. So you're going to get money back either way. And most people that work in an industry where they collect tips, unless you're working for a really high class restaurant, your average person that works at a diner or an average restaurant, you're not making enough money in tips to turn it in. You know, I mean, you get earned income tax credits. So if you put it all in, or if you don't, it doesn't matter. You're still getting money back from the government. You fall in that you fall in that tax bracket where you're going to get money back anyway. Sorry to spoil it for everybody. But that's just the reality of it. You might not want to hear it, but yeah, I'm here to tell you the truth. That's what I do. I love President Trump, but he's getting bad advice. He's getting really bad advice from people that are out of touch with the common man. I mean, it's insanity to me. You want to know how you know? I'm going to give you a little tip right now, right? Do you want to know how you know when people are in the pocket of Israel? I've seen it multiple times today. You want to know? I'll give you a little tip. When they come out and they go, you know what I want? I'm all in. I'm all in. We've got to finish this war now. I don't care. I've heard Carl Higbee say it. I've heard multiple people say it today. Now you don't care about the midterms. Now you don't care about anything else. You just want to finish this war in Iran. That's how you know these people are in the pocket of Israel. They're not worried about how much gas price. Oh, you just got to wait a little bit longer and gas prices will be fine. Well, tell that to the person that's busting his ass, finally started to see gas prices come down, saw a little bit of hope that he could actually afford to start saving money, the economy picking up, housing starting to flow. And now all of a sudden, you got gas prices back up. Inflation starts to tick back up. You've got the Fed saying, "Oh, yo, hold on. We're not gonna lower interest rates anymore. We're not lowering interest rates right now because, well, you know, inflation is ticking up." Meanwhile, the price of the products you're buying to do the job hasn't went down. Gas prices are creeping back up. You've just lost that person in the midterms. You've just lost them. You've lost any trust you have with them because now you've just betrayed them. We were promised, and by the way, this whole I'm all in, the whole I'm all in Let's finish this. Let's finish it. The ultimate. You know what that means? We're going to be there for a lot longer than what you were told. That's what that means. That's their way of walking it back and be able to go back to you to say, hey, listen, I said I'm all in. I'm not all in. I was done at Operation Midnight Hammer, and I said that from the beginning, and I've said it, and I've been true to what I've said every time. Call me whatever you want, a doomer, whatever. I don't care. I don't really care. The reality of it is we are now in a place that we've been boxed in. You know, now we have China, and go ahead, check out my Substack today. We have China basically saying, hey, I have a deal with Iran, and nobody's getting in the way. We're going to get that cheap oil that Iran has promised us, and it's that or nothing. You realize what's going on right now? China could say, okay, you want to block our deal with the Straits of Hormuz? All right, no more penicillin for you. No more diabetes drugs for you. That's the game we're playing. You prepared for that? And by the way, before Israel drug us into this never-ending war that we're in right now, and we're blocking the Straits of Hormuz, and you're hearing the talking heads. Oh, oil is just perfect right now. You know, it's only it was spiked a little bit this morning, and it came back down. We're still trading above $90 a barrel. We're capitulating right now between $90 and $115 a barrel. That's where we're at. Not coming down, folks. It's just not. And every single day, every single month that oil is above $90 a barrel, you're going to add inflation 3 months. That means your food. That means your heating oil. That means your natural gas. It's everything across the board, folks. That's the problem we're in right now. And instead of course correcting, President Trump wants to put out the, DoorDash grandma video just to let you know, oh, look what I've done. Look what I've done. Oh, these no tax on tip. This woman, first of all, is not a DoorDash grandma. She's a representative for DoorDash. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. And anybody on TV or any other political thing that's telling you this is great is a fucking moron, because it doesn't resonate with your average person that has a brain. Like, I'm just going to roll up to the White House with a DoorDash order, 2 bags, sealed, right there. You see them? They're sealed. Sealed into the White House and give them to the President of the United States? Are you fucking kidding me? Of course this was a setup. I mean, it's a clown show. Nobody's buying it. And why is it done? I'm telling you why it's done, because the president and the White House is beginning to realize that they've been duped and there's no way out. So they're trying to show you, oh, look, economically, look what we've done for you. Yes. Gas prices might be so high. And you're hearing the president talk about all this money you're getting back, from the IRS this year. Well, what about all the money that's been stolen? In Minnesota, California, when are we getting that back? We shouldn't have to pay any damn thing. Right, how about that? How about a tax holiday, Mr. President? How about you say, you know what? In light of everything that's been done, you've been stolen from. California's full of fraud. You've been subsidizing them. Tampon Tim, you've been subsidizing him. What about a tax holiday, Mr. President? I didn't hear that. Oh, no, you can't have that, right? Why? Because it actually benefits the people. It's not just lying to your face. I'm all in. It's the dumbest talking point I've ever heard. And I get the talking points from the White House. I refuse to use them. I will not use them. They can stuff them up their ass. I'm an independent person. I come to you with the truth. Oh, yeah, I know people are there. Oh, yeah, you're just a red pillar. You know what? Go F yourself, dude. So, really soul search for a minute and ask yourself a question. You're all in. You want to send your kid over to the Middle East to die? For what? Oh, Iran's had ICBMs. They've been looking for nuclear weapons the whole time. Shut the hell up, dude. When we went in on Operation Midnight Hammer, the first thing the Iranians did was contact the White House and tell them, listen, we have to retaliate. So we're going to send some missiles over here. It's not going to hit your base. It's going to hit nothing, but we have to do it to save faith with our people. Remember President Trump saying that? I do. And I remember them missiles hitting nothing. Now all of a sudden, Iran. Why wouldn't Iran? If we hit them with Operation Midnight Hammer and they had all these ICBMs and they were going to do all these things, why wouldn't they have retaliated and started taking out, I don't know, England, Germany, Israel, all of them? Why wouldn't they have fired missiles on them? Because they didn't want to engage with the United States. That's exactly why. That's why. This is another war that we've been drug into frankly, I personally believe 100% to stifle and destroy the Trump recovery, much like COVID. Yes, much like COVID. What happened during COVID? China dropped a bioweapon on us here in the United States. What was done about it? Nothing. Nobody was held accountable. We still do business with China. They could still buy farmland here, all types of stuff. Who paid the price? Oh, the American citizen. And the Chinese, right? The people they welded into buildings. You see, that's the thing you have to wake up to, folks. This is it. And this whole Eric Swalwell being expelled, stepping down from Congress, it's all a charade. It's all part of the globalists to distract us from what's actually happening. What's actually happening is we are getting sucked deeper and deeper into a freaking conflict in the Middle East, George Bush style, that we're not going to be able to get out of. China and all them baited us right in. And here we are. China baited us into a situation where we are going to cave. We have to. If we don't, the American people are going to suffer. Why? Because they still make our drugs. And they still make our cheap electronics. And what else? Oh, the chips from Taiwan. Yes. Yes, we forgot about that, didn't we? Chips from Taiwan. Well, they could block them from coming too, couldn't they? Meanwhile, the America's just depleting. We're just depleting our stockpiles of weapons. That's why we're pulling them from Ukraine. We're pulling them from Taiwan. We're pulling them from all over the globe to help us fight this conflict. For who? Who benefits from the Straits of Hormuz? Ask yourself that. It's not America. We don't benefit from it. Oh, Europe, China, India. Oh, they're coming to the United States now to fuel up on that sweet crude oil. We heard it right here, and I can play it for you. Oh, you know how much? It costs a lot more money to come to the United States and fuel up on that sweet crude oil. It's a longer trip. It costs more money for the Europeans to do it. That's why they've never done it before. That's why India hasn't done it before. That's exactly why. And at the current price, which is a global price, it's a global price, folks. It's not sustainable for those countries. The Straits of Hormuz will have to open. Unless we figure out a way to deliver that oil to the Europe, India, Germany, and all those other countries via pipeline, which would take years and years to do. It's a complete and utter quagmire, and nobody else will admit it, but I'm admitting it right here. Right? You don't have to like it. And I don't really care, to be honest with you. I could care less at this point. I'm here to tell you the truth. You can either accept it or not. And if you really examine what I'm telling you, it's 100% true, because if not, okay, you really think, let's just pull it up. Let's just pull this up. You think this woman rolled up to the White House? I was like, oh, somebody in the White House ordered Grubhub. Here I am. I just happen to have a shirt that says DoorDash Grandma on it. Oh, yes, of course. Everybody gets that shirt. No, they don't. No, they don't. I've DoorDash, I've Grubhub before. I've done all of it. And it's bullshit, folks. That's all it is. Let's finish it.
What we did in terms of every other aspect of the tax bill, right?
Yes, sir.
So it was 11,000 savings.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that incredible? And that's what it is. The tax cut, it's really, we call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. We should call it the Great Big Beautiful Tax Cut Bill, because it's tremendous amounts of money. And that's overtime. That's also on Social Security, as you know.
Yes.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is.
Well, you're really nice. Would you like to do a little news conference with me with these people? These are not the nicest people. They're not nice like you. You know that, right?
I'll do whatever you ask me to do, sir.
So the no tax on tips is something special, right?
It's very special.
And that's the one that really pertains to you more than anything else.
Yes, sir.
It's fantastic. It's such an honor to meet you. And I think you voted for me, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah. I heard you're a great supporter. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll put this over here. And why don't we have a news conference with the press? Want to do it?
Sure.
You don't have to
I mean,
stay
there could be
safe.
bombs in there,
They're
because
looking
we
about
just rolled up delivering
almost
some
straight
DoorDash
and various other things. Do you have
Grandma.
any questions?
It's a joke.
President, did you
Oh, my God.
for yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't
fucking
depicted.
kidding.
It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as the doctor, and it had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I had.
All right, wait a minute. All right, so we're going to stop that for 1 minute. And, I kind of saw what he was just talking about, the Trump as a doctor. Now, come on. You gotta be shitting me a little bit with this, right? Let me see if I can find it real quick. I mean, it looked like Trump is Jesus to me, but I could be completely wrong. I mean, what's wrong with you if you're equating President Trump to Jesus? I'm sorry. I can't deal with it. And you don't have to like what I'm saying. I don't really care. All right. Well, I'll look for it real quick. But the reality of it is the photo that that Trump was talking about. Clearly, and I don't know who put it out. I'm not saying Trump put it out, but it clearly depicts him as Jesus to me. I mean, when I saw it, I was like, who would do this? Let's see if I can pull it up. All right. I'm going to email it to myself. I'll pull it up on the screen. And that way everybody can see it. And you know what? I believe in letting people see it. Right? Why not see it? And you be the judge, right? Because I believe in bringing receipts and facts, not just telling you. Let's see. Hold on. Well, of course, it's going to take a little bit, but as soon as it pops up, I'll bring it up. But the reality of it is it was clearly President Trump depicted. Like, I don't know. I didn't see anything about Red Cross in there. Maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, to me, it's like maybe it was just a what do they call it? Like a maybe it was just a way to get the press pissed off. I have no idea, but I don't know if you want to depict yourself as Jesus and put it out there, like you're healing somebody. Um, I mean, I kind of find that a little disturbing, you know, um, and the fact that it was put out on his True Social is a little like, all right, Mr. President, come on. Like, you're getting a little full of yourself now. Yeah, for some reason, it's showing that I sent it, but it's not coming up on my computer. Right. Welcome to technology, folks. Right? This is what happens. I guess I should have prepared for it, but yeah, to me, it's insanity. Where we're at right now, we don't need to be here, and we were brought here by who? Well, Benjamin Netanyahu. That's exactly who we were brought here by. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he would prefer to have somebody else in power. No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. But I do believe that he's doing this for his own self preservation. And I believe he's doing it um, because he wants to prolong something. He wants to prolong the inevitable. The inevitable is that Benjamin Netanyahu is going to be he's going to be tried for crimes that he's committed by funneling money to Hamas and other terrorist groups, by the way, that were part of October 7th. Yes, he was the one that was behind funneling money to them. By the way, your tax money, American tax money that we send to them. Yeah, he admitted it during his interrogation. Right? And here we are. The American citizens getting roped and doped back in. They want more of our money because we're the ones brunting a majority of the cost for this war. You see, you have to understand this. We're just dragging ourselves deeper and deeper in debt with this. And I know everybody's going to say, it doesn't matter. Oh, it's going to matter. Trust me, because you know what? Let's just say everything works out. Right? Let's say everything works out in the Middle East, and we get a agreement with Iran. What happens when President Trump's gone? What happens if a Democrat wins? What happens? Well, it all changes then, doesn't it, folks? And that's the reality of it. It all changes then. And that's why we can't just sit back here and we can't get engaged in things. This is a long-term engagement. What we have done is going to stretch beyond President Trump. You realize that, right? If we would have left it alone, we would have been fine right now. I would have been confident the Republicans would have held the midterms and our economy would have been humming along. But no, I'm not confident at all. Actually, I am pessimist, which I absolutely hate. I hate it. And you know, the thing is I'm going to get a lot of people that are going to hate what I'm saying. They're going to call me a lot of names. I don't care. It's true. It's true. Unfortunately, it's all true what I just laid out. I don't want to be a propagandist. I'm here to just depict the truth to you. And so you don't get let down when things don't go your way. You see, that's what this is about for me. I want to save the midterms. I do. I want you to vote Republican for the midterms. I want to hold the House, the Senate. I don't care about this debacle so much. I just don't want you to fall into the propaganda and then at the last minute have the rug pulled. That's what they're setting you up for. When they say, oh, I'm all in, when your favorite media person tells you they're all in and we've got to finish this war in Iran, they're telling you, be prepared for the long haul. That's what that means. That's exactly what that means. Understand that. Realize we still have to win the midterms. Because if we don't, it's going to be that much worse. Because if we lose the midterms, we lose 2028. Hands down, there will be nothing done to make our elections more secure. The rhinos don't want to do it. That's why we need Ken Paxton. That's why you need to vote no in Virginia. See, all these things matter. I'm not here to try to make you feel like, oh, there's no hope. There's hope. It's just, I don't want you to get distracted and then deflate it. I want you to realize that we've been drug into something. And we were promised We were promised no more overseas wars, no more never-ending wars, no more long-term wars in the Middle East. We were promised that the Ukraine-Russia war would be done in a day, first day. Listen, none of that matters. We need to win these midterms coming up. We really do. We need to mobilize. It's going to be hard. It's going to be harder than you've ever seen before because you're going to have the Mandanis out there that are going to take all these things I just said and lay them out on a silver platter to your kids that are just coming out of college talking about equality, talking about the money that's wasted overseas fighting these endless battles. Yes, I mean, if I were on the opposite side, that's exactly what I would do. And that's the way I try to think, folks. I don't try to think like, oh, I got my head up President Trump's ass. Everything he does is great. No, that's bullshit. That's how you lose elections. That's how we lost 2020. That's how we kept our country closed down for way too long because we had too many people that were just saying, oh, trust the plan. Trust the plan. Well, the plan got us fucked, now didn't it? Who'd President Trump trust? Oh, Dr. Fauci, the Scarf Queen, Deborah Birx, and now Deborah Birx is on Newsmax. Deborah Birx is on Newsmax. Imagine that. You trust them? Just asking for a friend. Yeah, that's the thing, folks. You need to open up your eyes. You really need to see what's going on. You really do. You really do. It's almost like whoever's in Trump's cabinet is kind of trying to sabotage him by posting the picture of him like Jesus Christ and all these other things. It's absolutely insanity. And we're just literally sleepwalking into it. And you've got the people that tell you if you bring any of this up and you try to wake people up and you try to get them prepared for the deflate. Oh, you're a black pillar. You're a doomer. Yeah. F you, dude. Because everything that I've said is 100% on track. I remember there were people telling me after Operation Midnight Hammer, oh, no, we're done. I'm like, we're not done. This isn't what Israel wants. I remember having arguments with people in chat. No, we're not done. Oh, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. And here we are. Here we are. I'm not such an idiot now, am I? Told you. I don't want to be that guy. I said, I hope I'm wrong. But I know I'm not. Here we are, baby. Here we are. Now we're hearing, oh, they still might have the capability to have uranium. All right, so let me ask a question real quick, right? Because from what I've heard from President Trump and our military, we've depleted Iran's military. Their navy's done. There's top scientists were killed in Operation Midnight Hammer. How do they have the capacity to still create uranium or nuclear weapons if in Operation Midnight Hammer we killed everybody and their military is completely done and collapsed and we sunk all their navy and all this shit? Why? Why don't we have complete control over the Straits of Hormuz? Why are we shutting it down, exiting and entering? Why don't we just open it wide up? Because we can't. and they never had nukes. That's why. We're feeding into a narrative that Israel keeps on dragging us down, and President Trump keeps on getting sucked into it deeper and deeper and deeper. And frankly, it's pissing me off. You don't have to like it, but it's the truth. Yeah, look at what I just laid out for you. Use an open mind. Come on, folks. Think about what I just told you. The timeline. Operation Midnight Hammer. We've destroyed all their nuclear capabilities. The next day, Bibi comes out. I don't know if we destroyed all of it. I said, yeah, no, yeah, they're dragging us into something deeper. Oh, no, they're not. You're an idiot. And here we are. We're being told that their military is destroyed. We won the war. Then a few days ago, you had Mark Levin come out on TV talking about, oh, we ought to have people go in and get the dust, nuclear dust, the uranium. I thought we destroyed all that. What happened to that? Now all of a sudden, oh, they still have the capacity to make these nuclear weapons, but we killed their scientists. All of them were dead. That's what we were told. They were all dead. They have no military. And it's just fringe people out there right now fighting a war. Yeah, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me, folks. They keep on moving the line. They just do. They keep moving it deeper and deeper and deeper. Till we have troops on the ground. That's next. That's next. Who's going to go in and get the nuclear material? It's us. It's us. Israel already said that we can't have troops on the ground. It's got to be U.S. soldiers. See the way this works? I'm telling you, man. It's ridiculous to me. It almost hurts your brain, to be honest. It almost hurts your head to think about these things. And of course, it's not going to let me pull it up because, well, the picture, because of the same people that killed my Rumble channel, are probably don't want the truth out there, and it's okay. It's going to get out there one way or another. But all right, folks. You know, you got to stay positive. You got to stay positive, and you have to stay sharp. You can't sit back and let these things get you down. You got to keep your mind always thinking forward, right? And we've got to win these midterms. I know it's a hard thing to hear. I know it is because a lot of these Republicans are dirtballs. But we've got to win these midterms because the Democrats are far worse than the Republicans. There's no doubt. And at least we have the opportunity to keep them in check. Now, when you have President Trump backing somebody like Lindsey Graham, I question his judgment right there. I do. I question his judgment right there. The fact that Lindsey Graham, and I'm sure I won't be able to pull this up either. The fact that Lindsey Graham said that J6ers should be shot in the head. Yeah, he said it. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I found a Business Week. Let me see if I can find a video of it. Because that's what everybody needs to see. All right, no video. An article. All right, we got it on X. Hold on 1 second. I think everybody needs to see this. You know why? Because this is who President Trump endorsed over somebody like Mark Lynch. This guy right here, this scumbag. Right? You know, the people that went into J6, let me just lay this out for you. The people that were in the Capitol and were at the Capitol that day were people that were fighting for President Trump. They were fighting for President Trump. And then he's got Lindsey Graham, this dirtbag right here that he endorsed, by the way. He endorsed him. Plays golf with him every weekend. So while people suffered in prison for President Trump, this guy's out here saying this.
Yesterday, the Capitol of the United States was taken over by domestic terrorists.
Senator Lindsey Graham is calling for the prosecution of every person who breached the Capitol in D.C. during the pro-Trump riot Wednesday.
I'm calling for a joint task force to be assembled and spend all the time and money necessary to identify every person who breached the security of the Capitol, who occupied the chambers, who invaded offices and destroyed property.
Yeah, my question is about January 6th.
It wasn't peaceful. I was there. If it had been up to me, I would have shot some of these people in the head. Let me tell you why. They took over your Capitol. I don't care what the cause was. They destroyed the place.
With Republican
See, I don't care what the cause was. They destroyed the place. They should have been shot in the head. That's what the Trump-endorsed candidate said. Are you okay with that? Because I'm not. I'm not okay with that, Mr. President. Explain why. Why would you endorse that dirtball? Well, you have no excuse. You know, folks, we've got to really figure all this out. And I bring up legitimate points. You can call me whatever you want, but you know it's all true. Lindsey Graham just said it. President Trump endorsed him. You can come up with all the excuses you want why you endorsed him. But let me tell you something. There are people that their lives were destroyed and they did nothing wrong for President Trump because they believed he won 2020. Their lives were ruined. They lost their house, income, everything. And I don't want to hear when he first got in, he pardoned them. Big effing deal. Where do they go to get their lives back? You just endorsed a fucking traitor, Mr. President. Somebody that wanted those people shot in the head. Explain yourself. Please. Because I don't get it. I just don't. You know, and here's where we are right now. Oh, Trump's playing 3D chess. Is he? Explain. Was he playing 3D chess during 2020 when he fell for we need to shut the country down because China dropped the bioweapon on us? Was he playing 3D chess? Because I heard he was playing 3D chess then, too. Right? When he was listening to Fauci and Dr. Birx, the Scarf Queen, I heard we were playing 3D chess then. Were we? It didn't feel like it. Felt like the American people were getting screwed once again.